Fertility struggles can cause a great deal of physical and emotional distress, but imagine having to freeze your eggs at just 15 years of age. Have a look.
When I was in the 7th grade, I first got my period and I was having really bad cramps. It was a little bit different from what I was told to expect.
She was in doubled over pain.
Morgan looked me in the eyes and told me, "Daddy, make it stop." And that was it. We were on our way to the hospital.
They ended up finding that it was my ovary. Due to ovarian torsion, which is like a twisting of an ovary, it was so damaged, they decided to remove my right ovary entirely.
About a year and a half later, she actually ended up again in the emergency room, and it was another torsion.
The doctor came out and told us that I was able to untwist it, and we were able to leave it in with the hopes that the body would heal itself and preserve her ability to have children.
At that point, we knew her ovaries had a mind of their own, that they could just twist with very little activity.
She was an athlete. She was playing volleyball. She was doing all this stuff. And then all of a sudden it was like this, boom, everything stopped.
After the second surgery, it hit me that I may not be able to have what I want most in life, which is to be a mom.
She would say to me, "Mom, I feel like God forgot me." Sorry.
As a father, I had to do whatever I had to do to make that happen. And, you know, we did.
When I was 15 years old, I started my first round of egg freezing. My fertility doctor recommended that we shoot to get 20 eggs. We got 10 healthy eggs. I felt so different from the kids my age.
I don't think she was prepared at 15 to deal with the emotions, and she began to find comfort in food.
At 17 years old, I reached my heaviest weight of 286 pounds. The day that I turned 18, we submitted to my insurance to get my gastric sleeve surgery. It's been just under a year and a half, and I've lost over 100 pounds. The next big thing for me is reaching the goal of 20 eggs. Going through all of this made me realize that if I want anything in life, it's to have kids. I really do want to be a mom.
We're here with Morgan and her fertility specialist, scientific director of the Southern California Reproductive Center, Dr. Wendy Chang. And Morgan, I cannot even imagine what it must have been like making such adult decisions at such a young age. What was that like for you?
It was scary. The actual torsions themselves were very painful experiences. So that was quite traumatic, but it was kind of just realizing that I actually may never be able to have my own kids. That was a horrifying reality for me to face.
Your parents, Buffy and Chip, are here in our audience, and I saw the emotion on both of your faces watching that tape piece, especially you, Dad.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, Daddy's a little girl, and she struggled and persevered. So it's amazing. She's an amazing girl.
And I am also glad we're talking about this because, Dr. Chang, it is really important for people to recognize the symptoms of ovarian torsion. And can you briefly just explain to our viewers what happens with ovarian torsion?
Sure. So torsion refers to the rotation or twisting of the ovary around its ligaments. And what most people don't realize that the ovaries originate in the abdomen and then slowly migrate down into the pelvis during development. So they're actually held in place by long ligaments. And when those ligaments twist on themselves, it can basically cut off blood flow to the ovary. If you think about a garden hose when you're watering the lawn, if it kinks off just right, you'll suddenly lose flow. And that's what happened in Morgan's case.
So where does Morgan go from here?
We have really enjoyed caring for you, Morgan, and meeting your family, and I know how important it is to you personally to get more eggs. So all of us at Southern California Reproductive Center would be happy to offer your next egg freeze at no charge if you choose to do it.
Dr. Chang, thank you. Morgan, we wish you nothing but the best moving forward. Thank you for sharing your story. We really appreciate it.